Hello, and thank you for joining us. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. We'll give folks another minute or two to sign in and get settled. So thank you for joining. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the Geothermal Manufacturing Prize webinar. We're excited to have launched this new American-Made Challenges Prize competition focused on the geothermal energy and additive manufacturing. My name is Emily Evans, and I am an American-Made Challenges Prize Administrator with the National Renewable Energy Lab. And today I'm joined by Sean Forrest from the U.S. Department of Energy Geothermal Technologies Office. We're also joined today by Jackie Petrie from NREL, who will be moderating our session. Next. Today, we have a full agenda, and we'll be covering the American-Made Challenges and a network overview, the Geothermal Manufacturing Prize overview. We'll talk about the READY contest, which is the first stage of the Geothermal Prize in detail and talk through the submission elements. We'll talk about eligibility, do a live demo of how to use EuroApp, and then at the end of the session, we will have an opportunity for you to ask questions. Next. Before we dive in, a few housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded, and the recording will be made available later and posted to the Geothermal EuroApp page. As I said, there will be a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. To submit a question, type it into the question tab within the GoToWebinar tool that's on the left-hand side in your control panel. If you experience any technical issues, please check your audio settings under the audio tab. And if you continue to experience issues, please contact the GoToWebinar support phone number, which is listed here. Next. We'll start today with a brief overview of the American-Made Challenges and the American-Made Network. The American-Made Challenges program was developed to help energize American ingenuity and empower innovators to create groundbreaking energy solutions and turn ideas into reality in a matter of months instead of years. The American-Made Challenges program achieves this goal by connecting teams with knowledge, resources, and access to experts in their field to rapidly transform ideas into prototypes and beyond. In addition, the program connects participants with DOE national labs, incubators, accelerators, and other facilities through the American-Made Network to further support their innovation. Next. The American-Made Challenges program is proud to host the Geothermal Manufacturing Prize, and we encourage all of you to check out our other prize programs on AmericanMadeChallenges.org. New prizes are added frequently, so be sure to check back often. Next. So we get the question a lot. Well, how is this different than the typical government grant process like a FOA or an SBIR? And essentially what the prize funding model does is it shortens and reverses the typical grant process. In the grant process, you write and submit a concept paper. The concept paper gets reviewed, and then you write a full application. Full applications get reviewed. The applications are then selected and negotiated, and then you begin performing. And then as you perform, you prepare and submit reimbursement requests until the end of the grant. With the prize award, you begin performing immediately and then submit a completed submission package, which is scored, and the winners then receive payment. A key aspect of the prize award model is that once you win, there are no performance deliverables tied to the cash award that you receive. We hope that you'll use the cash prize award to advance your innovation and continue participating in the challenge. However, it is entirely up to you how to spend those funds. Next. Our American-made network is growing and getting stronger every day. Currently, our network partners, we call them connectors, represent 31 states and counting. We are also proud to connect our teams to 17 DOE national laboratories and enable them to get access to staff, resources, and laboratories via our voucher program that traditionally are very hard to get. We are always looking for new connectors to join our network, so if you are in the audience and interested in helping teams succeed, we would love to have you join our network. Just go to our website and follow the links to connect with us. Next. I'd now like to hand the mic over to Sean Porth, who will give us an overview of the Geothermal Manufacturing Prize. Sean, over to you.
Thanks very much, Emily. And I want to take a moment to thank everybody for tuning in today. I'm really excited to dive into the details of what the Geothermal Manufacturing Prize is really all about. Next slide, please. So this set of 4 contests offers a total of $4.65 million in incentives, $3.25 million in cash, $1 million in vouchers, and up to $400,000 in field testing costs. These contests are supported throughout by the American-made network, as Emily just mentioned. This network is an exciting and engaging community of energy incubators, investors, universities, 17 DOE national laboratories, and others that are here to help participants achieve their goals. We're going to be diving into both aspects, but first I'd like to start with the motivations for the prize. So the prize is structured to incentivize driving additively manufactured geothermal innovations from concept to prototype testing in 2 years through an accelerated innovation schedule. Slide, please. We've structured it this way for a few reasons. First, we're really looking to catalyze manufacturing innovation for the U.S. geothermal industry by harnessing the rapid advances additive can provide for tool design, fabrication, and functionality. We're doing so by incentivizing the nation's innovators and entrepreneurs to rapidly discover, research, iterate, and deliver new additive solutions that will improve performance and help maintain U.S. manufacturing prowess. And ultimately, we're looking to transform innovative research ideas from an early stage to prototype and testing ready in a rapid amount of time. We're really excited as well to enable brand new connections between these industries, between geothermal and additive. And we really hope that by doing so, we're going to be sparking innovations that will benefit both industries, as well as the U.S. innovation ecosystem more broadly. Next slide, please. So why additive? Well, we're excited to focus on additive manufacturing more specifically because of the promising innovation examples that this manufacturing approach has provided for numerous industries with equally challenging operational environments. You can think of examples that additive has helped innovate for the automotive, for the aerospace, as well as other clean energy sectors. We in geothermal really want to try and leverage that rapid innovation cycle that additive can help enable so that the U.S. geothermal industry can reduce design and manufacturing lead times for key components, save time, money, and materials, and all while improving the performance necessary for operating in geothermal environments. Next slide, please. So what are some of the characteristics of geothermal environments that are at the heart, really, of our office's technical focus with this effort? Well, first, The operating temperatures in geothermal generally sit at or above 175 degrees Celsius for purposes of what we're looking for. And we can also encounter at these same types of environments challenging fluid chemistries that have high total dissolved solids, elevated gas constituents, as well as low pH chemistries. And not to mention that accessing these reservoirs and resources can really require drilling through rock that has a high amount of compression strength. And when you combine one or more of these factors together, they can really wreak havoc on tools and componentry. And this can significantly reduce operational life cycles of equipment from years to months or even to days or less. And so overcoming these challenges will be necessary for equipment to operationally thrive in geothermal environments, particularly as we look at hotter and deeper resources such as enhanced geothermal systems. Next slide, please. So with those characteristics in mind, I want to switch to the actual structure of our prize. So competitors in the READY, the SET, MAKE, and GEO contests participate in these 4 escalating challenges that will provide $4.65 million in incentives. And currently, we are there on the top right of your screen in the READY contest that is currently open through August 26th and later this summer. Next slide, please. So to speak more to the incentives that we're offering, for example, for the READY contest, the first phase, winners will up to 20 folks will receive up to $50,000 each, distributed equally from a $500,000 prize pool. Each subsequent phase offers an escalating overall amount of incentives in the form of cash and vouchers, culminating in 2 grand prize winners of $500,000 each in cash, as well as up to $200,000 each in covered field testing costs. Next slide, please. So now that you know what you can win, I'd like to dive into a little bit more about how you can actually go about competing in our prize. So as Emily mentioned, we're in the throes of the first contest, which is the READY contest, where competitors will demonstrate that they have identified and developed an impactful design concept that partially or wholly incorporates additive into a geothermal tool, equipment, or component. Competitors will also propose a path to design, prototype, and ultimately test a proof of concept. And as I mentioned before, winners can receive up to $50,000 each. But in addition, all READY contest winners will have the opportunity to participate in a design workshop as well as receive one-on-one feedback from additive manufacturing experts with the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, which is a proud technical partner with this effort. The READY contest is currently open for entry right now on EuroApp through August 26th. Next slide, please. The second contest is known as SET. And in the SET contest, competitors will work to substantially advance their additively manufactured focused concept through the design phase to demonstrate their design's promise in meeting engineering and operational criteria previously outlined by the team. Additionally, teams should have also made significant progress in teaming and partnerships that would be capable of building and testing a functioning prototype. Winners of the SET contest will receive up to $100,000 in cash, as well as $75,000 in vouchers that can be redeemed for prototype development support at DOE National Laboratories, as well as other qualified facilities within the American Main Network. Next slide, please. For the third contest, known as MAKE, competitors will fabricate prototypes based on their set phase designs at a qualified fabrication facility. They will then participate in a planned live demo day event to pitch their idea and demonstrate their progress to a live panel of expert reviewers. Winners of the MAKE contest will receive up to $250,000 in cash, as well as an additional $50,000 in vouchers for testing their prototype. Next slide, please. And finally, competitors in the GEO contest, the penultimate contest in this competition, will test their fully fabricated advanced prototype at geothermal-like conditions. Similar to MAKE, competitors will participate in a planned live demo day to pitch their final innovation to a live panel of expert reviewers. Grand prize winners from GEO will receive $500,000 and up to $200,000 that they can use to put towards field testing costs for taking their prototype to the field for testing. And please note that currently the EuroApp website only has the Ready contest rules available. Further details on the set, the make, and the geo contests will be posted prior to each subsequent contest. So with that, I hope turn it back to Emily.
Thanks, Sean. That was great. So we'll now spend a few minutes talking about eligibility for the prize. So if you want to compete, we highly encourage you to do so. Generally speaking, anyone who is a U.S. citizen can compete, and we are looking for just about anyone with the next big idea in geothermal and additive manufacturing. Whether you're a scientist, a student, entrepreneur, or someone already working in the geothermal additive industries, we want to hear from you. Advantages to competing include when you can win increasingly significant cash prizes. You can receive vouchers to access expertise at national labs and private organizations. You can gain insightful feedback from and new connections to investors and partners. And finally, you can access a network of organizations motivated to provide you with mentorship and connections to early stage investors and pilot partners. Next. That being said, although in general, anyone who is a U.S. citizen can compete in the prize, there are many specific details in the eligibility section of the rules that govern who can apply and who can't. The bullets shown here are just a few examples of some of the details that you'll see in the official rules document, and I would strongly encourage you to review the rules in the section in particular, in addition to the rest of the rules, of course, as soon as possible and make sure that your team is eligible. Please note that any non-U.S. citizens may contribute to an application as part of a larger team effort, but cannot be the online account holder of the submission. Next, we'll move on to looking at each of the Ready contest submission elements in detail and other important information related to the Ready contest. The goal of the Ready contest is to propose an innovative design concept, wholly or partially incorporating additive manufacturing approaches for a geothermal tool, equipment, or component. Important dates for the Ready contest. Right now, you are in the Ready contest. It opened on April 29th, and it will run until August 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're anticipating announcing the winners of the Ready contest on November 4th, and shortly thereafter, the set competition will open. Next. Here's a copy of the rules document. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. Please go out, read the rules, make sure you don't have any questions. You can find it either by this link. We'll also post a PDF of this slide presentation to EuroApp, or if you go to the Geothermal EuroApp page, we'll do a live demo of this later, and go to the resources tab. It is also linked there, but I would strongly encourage you to read the rules. Next. In your Ready submission on EuroApp, you will be asked to upload or link to 6 basic elements: a 90-second video, cover page, the PowerPoint slide, technical assistance request, technical narrative, and letters of commitment or support. We're going to talk about a few of these elements in depth. However, you can find detailed information for all of these items in the rules document. Next. Thank you. The first item that we will ask for is a 90-second video, which should include the geothermal relevant challenge that you are addressing, how you will incorporate additive manufacturing into your solution and why it's important, who you are and why you have a competitive edge, and creative content that conveys your submission in exciting and interesting ways. This is suggested content. You do not have to include all these items. The video is really up to you. A few tips for your video: be creative and focus on content. We don't care so much about lighting or those production elements. We really want to know kind of the meat of what you're trying to get across. Ask others for help. Have friends and family look at your video and give you feedback. Help if you have questions on how to upload. We're here to give you pointers and guidance on that. And then, like I mentioned, get some feedback before you post. Keep in mind that the video is often the first thing that our expert reviewers will look at. And even though it's not scored, it's important to lay the foundation and set the overall tone for your submission. You will be asked to upload your video to a public video sharing site like YouTube and provide us with a publicly accessible link in your application. Next. The technical assistance request is a short description of any technical needs or unique challenges that you and your team face. This document will be made public to assist with connecting you and your team with the American-made network. The technical narrative is really the meat of your submission. And in the technical narrative, you are asked to answer 4 basic questions. Question 1, problem. What is the problem and why is solving it important? 2, innovation. What is your solution and why will it be successful? 3, what have you done, team? What have you done to date and what qualities give you a competitive edge? And 4, what is your plan to achieve those goals? Next. In the rules, you will find for each question a list of suggested content that you should provide. See the left column in the table. This content is not required, but is intended to guide your technical narrative and get you thinking about the right things. On the right-hand side column, you'll see a series of statements that each expert reviewer will score your submission on. Each statement is scored on a 1 to 6 scale. Next. On EuroApp, we have a technical narrative template available for you to use for your technical narrative submission. You're welcome to use it. You don't have to use it, but it's there if you want. Next. Assessment and announcement. Expert reviewers will score submissions based on the judging criteria. That was that right-hand side bullet points that we looked at a few minutes ago. The final score is from individual expert reviewers. The final score from an individual expert reviewer for a submission package equals the total sum of the scores for all of the bullets. All the expert reviewer scores will then be averaged for a final score for the submission package. Typically, we have about 3 to 5 expert reviewers who look at every single submission. So your score is an aggregate of all those different perspectives. Approximately 2 months after the contest closes, the prize administrator will notify and announce the winners, and then the set contest will open. Next. In your submission, don't forget to list any connectors that supported you in the Ready contest. The connectors are eligible to receive cash awards for supporting competitors. Next. So as you can see here, these are the awards for the connectors. There's a $50,000 prize pool that will award to up to 20 connectors that are supporting you right now in the Ready competition. Next, we'll take an in-depth look at EuroApp, which is the prize platform that we use for all of our American-made challenges prize competitions, including this one. And we will walk you through a live demo. We're transitioning presenters here. Give us just one moment. Great. So as you can see here, This is our HeroX American Made Challenges channel page. You can get to this page either by americanmadechallenges.org, or you can Google HeroX and American Made Challenges. On here, you will see all of our prize competitions, but the one you're probably the most interested in is the Geothermal Manufacturing Prize. You click on it. You'll see the title here, some tabs down below. There's an overview, guidelines, link to the official rules. You can check on the timeline, any updates that have been posted. This is where we're going to relay key information about the prize. So even if you're just interested in the prize, I would encourage you to at least follow, if not sign up to be a competitor. We have a form. You're able to post topics to talk about with the broader community. You can ask questions. Community, these are all of your fellow innovators who are interested in this challenge. What's also really cool and new to HeroX is this team matching feature. If you click on here, you're able to list yourself as an innovator looking for teams, or you can say teams looking for innovators. This is really to help with that teaming aspect. So if you're a geothermal expert and you're looking for some additive expertise, this is where my first step would be. And you just have to click on this Add Myself button. Resources tab, we mentioned this earlier. We have the technical narrative template, the prize rules and criteria, and then also some really good resources that we encourage you to check out. It'll give you a better foundation for the prize and the FAQ. We will post questions throughout the prize as we receive them. So if you want to sign up to be a competitor, your first step will be to click on the Solve This Challenge button. It's going to prompt you for a sign up. I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in. You can log in with Facebook, you can log in with Google. It's going to have you accept the agreement. Again, it's going to point you to the official rules. And then when you're ready, you click on Begin Entry. And here you'll see the submission form. And it's going to walk you through all of the different areas that we're going to ask for. And my web browser just froze a little bit. Oh, there we go. Here's the connector box where we want you to list 3 connectors that help you. And then the 6 elements of your submission package, technical narrative and cover page have been combined here. And then you complete the eligibility acknowledgement, and then you save, preview, and submit. I would highly encourage anyone who submits to submit well ahead of the August 26th deadline. Technical issues do come up. Just plan to submit a couple days before so that you know that you're in the clear. If you have any trouble with navigating HeroX, you can use the chat box for HeroX that will get you to their technical support directly. You can also email us at geothermalprize@nrel.gov, and we can also assist you. Jackie, you can go ahead and take back the slide deck. And next slide. Great. And next week, we have a really exciting event coming up for NomCom, and we would love you to join. We will be holding an informational session at the Nation of Makers annual conference. This is an informational session. It's learn more about geothermal, learn more about additive manufacturing. We're going to have 3 sessions from 2 to 6 p.m. on June 4th, including Geothermal 101, pulling energy from the earth, Industrial Additive Manufacturing 101, creating solutions from the bottom up. And then our 3rd session will be identifying opportunities and geothermal prize teaming. That 3rd session is especially exciting because we're going to have several breakout speakers that are going to talk about specific materials and elements in additive and geothermal, and then you're going to have an opportunity to join breakout sessions to interface directly and ask questions with them and meet other people who are working in this field, start potentially forming those teams. So please join us. It is a free session. The RSVP link is at the bottom. And we also encourage you to check out the other great programming that NomCom has. It's a separate ticket, but it's all a really great lineup. So please join us for the geothermal session at NomCom. We really hope to see you there. Great. And now we will open it up to any questions that you might have about the prize itself, about how to use EuroApp, anything that's on your mind. Please use that question box that's on the control panel, and we will get to as many as we can.
Great, thanks, Emily. We'll give people a few minutes to submit their questions, but to kick things off, we have a question that asks about intellectual property. It asks, does participating in the contest or accepting a prize impact IP ownership?
Sure, I can take that one. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
No, please go ahead, Emily.
Sure. I would point this person, I would point everyone to review the rules document. There's very specific IP related information in the rules. In general, it does not impact ownership. We will also post some more information on this to the EuroApp FAQ in the coming days. Sean, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
No, I think that's great, and yeah, we'll definitely have some more information on EuroApp soon.
Great. Another question is, what technologies are eligible for prize entry?
Yeah, I can take that one. So really what we're looking for here, what's exciting about this is in fact that the wilderness of technologies that geothermal operates with can range from technologies that access and drill into geothermal resources, interrogate and monitor these resources, as well as overall are just required to function over operational lifetimes for a geothermal power plant or for the resources in the wells themselves. And so in all reality, there's a wide net of opportunity here. What we're really excited about is sort of working with the communities here, as well as using opportunities like next week to help identify and start to spur the more specifics on where we can really drill down, no pun intended, on where there could be some technology opportunities to include for additive. One really great resource, if folks are looking for some ideas to initially discuss, on the EuroApp website, there's a great paper by the team at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, led by Jerome Polsky, who did some feasibility work in the past year and a half, looking at basically this type of question: what types of geothermal technologies are interesting and eligible and useful for sort of considering additive as a manufacturing innovation for. So I would encourage you to check out the EuroApp website, check out that page, talk with Jerome, as well as take a look at other resources like the GeoVision in order to sort of learn a little bit more about sort of the opportunity here.
Great, thank you, Sean. Another question we received is, what is the best definition of additive manufacturing?
What a great question. There is actually within the rules document, there is an official definition. I can certainly pull it up, but I would also just encourage folks to check out the rules. And in the definition section at the end of the rules document, additive is sort of explicitly laid out.
Okay, we got another question that says, if we already have a good idea and a dream team in mind with some drawings and feasibility work already done, are we too far along to join in this program?
I would say definitely not. You know, the great thing about these prize challenges in general is that they're really well suited to someone who just has an inkling of an idea that they want to explore more, and also to folks and teams that are maybe a little bit further along in the process.
Great, thank you, Emily. Another question asks, is this competition better suited for improvements to geothermal for power generation, or could the prize also apply to using geothermal for industrial applications?
So the primary scope and focus technically for the prize here is really on the power generation side, and looking at the temperatures and relevant sort of conditions that I sort of described at a high level there. Higher temperatures, compressive strength, high resource sort of reservoir rocks, as well as the potential for sort of high temperature and corrosive fluids. So what we're really looking to do here is for the benefit of the power generation industry for geothermal, in particular, as we, as a program, also strategically start to look at hotter and deeper resources like EGS, like enhanced geothermal systems. These types of resources are typified by these types of challenges. So that's why we're really excited to primarily focus on those technical innovation opportunities more specifically for this effort.
Great.
And I pulled up the additive manufacturing definition from the rules. And it says, additive manufacturing, also known as 3D printing, is a process that facilitates the creation of physical three-dimensional objects directly from a computer design file. Materials used for additive manufacturing can include polymer composites, metals, ceramics, and other exotic materials. Of particular interest for this competition will be the AM tools, components, and equipment designed for operation in high-temperature subsurface geothermal environments. So hopefully that answers your question. Again, that's section 17 of the rules document under definitions.
Awesome, thank you for that definition, Emily. I think we'll give another minute for people to submit questions. Otherwise, you can always submit a question to the email address geothermalprize@nrel.gov. You can also always submit a question to the forum to spark group discussion. Emily or Sean, are there other quick items you wanted to touch on in the last couple minutes?
Well, I would absolutely just encourage folks to check out our some more information for next week's NomCon sessions. They're going to be really exciting, and looking to have an exciting, set of experts from both the additive as well as the geothermal industry to sort of talk more to these sorts of challenges and opportunities. Look forward to seeing everybody there.
It looks like we got another question asking if teams can enter more than one idea.
Sean, I believe the answer to this is yes. Is that your understanding as well?
Yes.
Yes. Teams can enter more. Sometimes we place a limit on it, and I'm looking the rules document. And I think it's an open field. If you have more than one idea, please submit multiple.
Okay, well, I think that about wraps up the Q&A session for today. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Emily and Sean, for your presentation. Emily, do you want to close things out?
Sure. I would just end this webinar by saying getting started is really easy. Just go to the American Made Challenges website, learn more about the prize. Go to HeroX, sign up to be a competitor, sign up to follow the prize. Make sure you keep updated, and join us next week at NomCom. It's going to be a great event. We've got some really amazing speakers lined up, and thank you for your time today. Thank you for your time next week if you choose to join us, and this concludes our webinar.